the big Star Wars property right now that is kind of capturing everyone's imagination and attention. For once, I think it's not a movie. It's actually a TV series that Jon Favreau is helming, streaming on the Disney streaming service in 2019. It is The Mandalorian, and that's disgusting. The table just lifted a little bit on Jesse's end. We got a couple weeks, about a month ago, we got that posting or whatever. It was like a description of like The Mandalorian and this character was on the journey or whatever.
After the stories of Jango and Boba Fett, another warrior emerges in the Star Wars universe. The Mandalorian is set after the fall of the Empire and before the emergence of the First Order. Travails. That's a new word for me. Travails of a lone gunfighter in the outer reaches of the galaxy, far from the authority of the New Republic.
So since then, we've learned that we have directors confirmed for this. Dave Filoni's doing the pilot. We're going to have Ron Howard's daughter, who was originally rumored just to be like an actress in the movie, but she's actually going to be directing an episode. Taika Waititi is going to be doing an episode. Kind of thought Favreau would be doing the pilot, but I think that kind of speaks to the confidence that they have. I think the overall involvement as well of Dave Filoni. We're going to talk about The Resistance a little bit, the cartoon on Disney XD. He's an executive producer on that series. I don't think he's as hands-on as he is with The Mandalorian. So we got the director news out there. You can find that right now. We've shared that article on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Now we're seeing like weapons. Jon Favreau just posted yesterday of a rifle that
it's a sonic rifle, actually, and we actually see this with the animated holiday special that featured Boba.
You like when I try and like have a conversation with Jesse and he just steamrolls my setup and he just tells you about it? It's the best. So let's start with this. Who is the Mandalorian?
Well, we don't actually have a name yet.
I know. That's why I'm asking. Who's the Mandalorian? Who do you think the Mandalorian is, Jesse? Hypothesize for me.
I actually think this is a brand new character, which I'm totally fine with, because, I mean, it's interesting with, because Favreau sent out this Instagram screenshot of what David Gilbert read to us. And then it's just like, okay, so we're getting this new character that's a Mandalorian. But strangely enough, he references after stories of Boba Fett and Jango Fett. Now, currently, canon-wise, according to George Lucas, neither one of them were actually Mandalorians. This was reinforced in a Clone Wars episode when Obi-Wan visits Mandalore, and he's talking to the Prime Minister, and he's like, "Well, Jango Fett was just a common bounty hunter and criminal kind of thing."
Yeah, he stole the armor.
So we have no idea how he got that armor.
Mm-hmm.
But the way I look at that is considering that Mandalore had gone from basically a very war-oriented society to a neutral, like all about peace, peaceful government. If Jango was part of an old sect of the government that was basically traditional warrior like Mandalorians, you probably wouldn't want to acknowledge them as being a member of your society. Mm-hmm. So I still kind of feel like the door was still kind of left open for that. Even still, they modeled themselves after, this warrior culture. So I think it's cool that somebody obviously may be influenced by this. Obviously, one of my hopes is, since the time frame that we're getting this is after Return of the Jedi and before the First Order rises. This is like Chuck Wendig's Aftermath series, timeline, and that makes me really excited and everything. So
I thought you were about to say Boba. I thought you were going to be like, it's Boba Fett.
I don't think it's Boba Fett, but I would like to actually see. I want to see him return. Being frank here, I want, even if it's just a cameo, just something for the fans. Okay, yeah, he lived. It's interesting enough though.
Yeah, I could buy that.
The first things that I noticed about this particular armor is it's actually very similar to the concept art that we saw for what would have been Boba Fett in the 1313 video game that was canceled.
Mm-hmm. So glad they're not wasting that.
Obviously, picking it apart. You're looking at what all he's equipped with. He has a blaster pistol on his right hip. In this first screenshot, you could obviously tell that he had some sort of a rifle or weapon slung across his back. Mm-hmm. Just complete badass, basically, strolling down. It seems like it's to me, this is kind of screaming maybe Tatooine. Just the way the buildings possibly look.
My only thing is, why does it have to... I don't think so. Because I don't want it to be the same planet that we've always been to. Like if you have this series where you're able to do this long form storytelling and go play in some new play in some new boxes.
Outer Rim territory. I'm just that's what I'm going off basically the caption that John gave us, the screenshot. And then obviously we got that, as you mentioned, the screenshot of the rifle. And then there was actually another screenshot of some sort of prop. It looked like some sort of like canister.
Yeah, I thought that was like a trash can or something.
So I mean, like, I'm really excited about this. It seems like they're really putting a lot of work as far as the appearance, the character appearance. This is, in my opinion, if you're going to see another Mandalorian set of Mandalorian armor, this is very much acceptable to me. Like, this is not something that's sitting in the background. And, I love seeing that in Solo and everything, but the close-up for, afterwards that they showed us at the Solo Mandalorian armor was disappointing. And this kind of is like, I feel like it's almost like an apology. Like, we're sorry. Like, look at this awesome armor now.
We've heard Jesse just gush and gush and gush.
I know.
David, what are you thinking about the Mandalorian? I mean, you're just seeing super small snippets, but what are you hoping for here?
I'm hoping for a brand new story. I don't want to see this delve a whole lot into what we've seen from the Clone Wars with Saltine. That's not her name. Satine, that one. She always reminds me of Crackers. I don't want that kind of story. Give me something brand new. Give me something that's out there with the high quality, which looks like we're getting. I'm super excited by the director's list. I'm super excited by the writing team. I'm super excited for Filoni. I have 100% faith that this is going to be what's going to revitalize me for Star Wars after coming off of some of the disappointments of the last 12 months with the movies. A little part of me was kind of hoping that when I heard there was a new picture out with The Mandalorian, that the armor might be a little more colorful, and maybe we were getting a story with Sabine and Ahsoka going out to try to find Ezra. I doubt we'll see that ever. They'll probably just leave that to speculation, but I'm looking forward to this. So sign me up for that Disney streaming service because I'll watch this on day one.